there, I'm Big Alias, and there is one thing that everybody seems to be talking about with Black Ops Cold War right now, aside for this new season that's coming out that I'm actually quite excited for. I mean, the game, I'm still having fun with it. I still am playing it. I played the campaign all the way through now. But you know, I just downloaded Dragon's Dogma Remastered sort of thing in the Black Friday sale, and I don't know, man. Like, I need this new season. I might prestige a third time, but at the moment I'm on second prestige. But the other thing that everybody seems to be talking about is skill-based matchmaking. Dun dun dun! Yeah, it's a scary, scary word. It's like demons rising from hell and producing with them a matchmaking system that people don't enjoy. So to anyone who isn't in the know, skill-based matchmaking is where the game tries to pair you up with people of a similar skill level based on how well you've been performing over the previous games. Now, the reason people dislike this system is because it eliminates your ability to do incredibly well in games and absolutely stomp on the enemy team like there was some sort of nursery kit. Right, I should probably... should I leave that in? Man. It removes people's ability to actually go completely apeshit Dwayne The Rock Johnson on everybody. And it's an issue for people. It's a real issue because that's part of the reason people play Call of Duty. And this is an issue that I kind of... We've had a lot of opinions from people who are like pro players and who dedicate their lives to doing well and absolutely need to do well in the game in order to feel good about themselves and stuff like that. But I would like to give you the opinion of someone who, I mean, I've been playing the games for 11 years, technically, but more like sort of 10. I do care about how well I do in the game, and it does matter, and it does sort of depend on, meter how much I'm enjoying the game. However, I'm not really that fussed. It's not really a big issue for me. I don't really care too much. I'm not in the pro circuit. I'm not out there to get gameplays for YouTube videos and stuff like that. I really just don't care. To me, the most important thing about a game is its gameplay, how fun it is, how well it plays, how fun the guns are to shoot, how good the maps are, stuff like that. Whether or not I do well, it's kind of gravy. Don't really care too much about it, but at the same time, I kind of do as well. Now, the biggest example I have for either side is actually in my lovely, beautiful fiancée, Ashley. I don't want to say it like I'm in a game show. On the blue team, it's Ashley. She's about to do maths against a 4-year-old. Now let's see who wins. Now she, every now and then, every year she plays Call of Duty. And sort of whilst I'm playing it, she gets involved. She has a few games herself and has a good time with it. And that's great. I'm a lucky man. I'm a very lucky man. And she'll sit there and she'll play the game, which is great. But this year, she found that she was doing quite well. She doesn't play very much of the game. She doesn't really play many other games that aren't on the Switch. So yeah, she was playing the game. This was the other day. She was feeling really good. And I must say, the biggest example for skill-based matchmaking was the look in her eyes when she was doing well. She actually hit like a 1.7 KD, something like that. I think it was about 20 for 12, something around that mark. And I looked at her and she had a glow in her eyes. She was so happy, so overjoyed with how well she was doing it. And at that point, I thought, you know what? Maybe skill-based matchmaking is a good thing. Maybe this is good. This is what it is designed for people to feel overjoyed when they play. And the biggest example against skill-based matchmaking comes from the next day when she woke up and decided to play it again. And if you know the ins and outs of skill-based matchmaking, you know what I'm about to say. She decided to play the game again the next day because she was riding high, feeling great, booted the game, and all I heard from her was, what the fuck is going on? Why am I doing so badly? Everyone was so much easier yesterday. Why is everyone so good now? And she gave up after a couple of games. It was very counterproductive for Treyarch and Activision that she was riding high, feeling great, and then just decided to give up. And I wonder whether, in the algorithm, it's worth people picking it up the next day and getting excited and continue playing for them to then drop off. But I don't think it is. And that is the biggest example against skill-based matchmaking, is that she just didn't want to play anymore. She was not having a good time. It wasn't good because she had been punished for doing well the previous night. And that's how the system works. She did great last night, and then the following morning she plays it and it said, hey, you did well, you're actually quite a good player, you're getting some good scores. We're not going to let that carry on happening. We're going to throw you into a lobby where everyone is great. And yes, it's had an impact on the way I play. I'm not getting very good games, and I don't do particularly well. But I got to wonder, what the approach is here. Obviously, it's to get new players sucked in. It's to get new people involved. And I saw a video where somebody said, this is ridiculous because every successful company just relies on good loyalty and good rewards for loyal customers and stuff like that, which is complete bollocks. Just for a minute, right? Just for a minute. Can everybody in the gaming YouTube community stop trying to be a fucking economist? You are not. None of you are. You don't go to work in a suit. You don't work in a bank. None of this. Stop it, alright? Stop simping for capitalists. Stop being a fucking bootlicker. You don't understand the way the world works. I'm not an economist. I haven't studied it. The closest thing I've studied is digital media marketing. I have not studied any of this, but I know because I've lived in the world that is not the case. It is always prioritized for a company to get new customers in. It's all about new customers. You watch any advert, it's rewards for new customers, rewards for starting with this service. Netflix gives you a month's free trial if you are not a member. Now TV, a month's free trial if you're not a member. Insurance companies, discount for the first 6 months. Sky gives you, Sky for £5 a month for 6 months. They always do things to bring people in. And the example they gave was Apple. And yes, Apple has a very cult following, but that's generated by its community, not by the company itself. Apple, as a company, it couldn't have used a worse time to use this as an example, because they just released a new phone where they released a smaller model for people who want to be part of the Apple ecosphere but don't want to pay the astronomical prices so they can charge less for it. Do you think that's designed at people who are already paying £60 a month for a full-on iPhone, or do you think it's designed for people who are paying £40 a month for a cheaper Android phone? And I think the cheaper model is designed as an entrance point for people. No, every company designs their model around getting new people involved in their ecosphere, and especially nowadays, it is all about having the ecosphere and latching onto people and attaching them to your product. And of course, that's what they're doing with this system. It's more important that they have new people in the game than ever. However, the one thing that I don't understand is this game is designed around a big issue that Call of Duty has for the past around about 5 years, which is that people start playing the game, they get very excited, they enjoy it, they have a great time, and then after about a month and a half, 2 months, they drop off. I do this every year. They drop off and they stop caring about it. For me, there's always an issue around it, though. Like last year, I wanted to play Modern Warfare all year long, but there was no incentive to, because the ranking system would wipe my rank constantly, which is their own fault. Which is why they introduced this new prestige system where it's like, okay, well, you get to keep what you do, but if you continue playing, you unlock new ranks, you unlock new maps, new guns, new camos, new ways to play as time goes on. So keep playing and keep coming back to the game. Everything about Black Ops Cold War is designed around keeping people playing and keeping them coming back. But that is what confuses me. Because on the one hand, yes, I guess if you're a new player, then you want to continuously have a good time. But you are going to reach a point where you get quite good, and at that point, you're going to want to drop off too. I wonder if this shows a lack of faith in the skill base, which, I don't know, this is getting a little too deep, but a lack of faith in the skill base from whoever designed the system to say, well, look, clearly they're not going to get that good within a certain amount of time. They're going to need us to hold their hand and put them in lobbies that aren't too difficult for a very long time. And maybe that is the case. Maybe that is the case. I do wonder, though, I would say overall, I'm not exactly for skill-based matchmaking. I do, I was more on the fence about it until I think it was Nero Cinema's video where he said, well, look, I miss the days when games felt random. And I do miss the days when games felt random. I miss getting stomped on in one game and then doing well in the next. There was a far more casual feel about that. And though these games are more consistent now, I won't go 0.7 KD to 2.5. I'll average on between 1.3 to 1.5 between 6 or 7 games. And though that is more consistent, I think it's a bit more boring, you know, and there's not as much sort of crazy stuff going on when every game just feels the same. I do agree with that notion, and so I would say that overall, I'm kind of against it. At the same time, I'm not really overly fussed. Though I do wonder, I will say before I go, I like to point out internet hypocrisy. And look, if the people who are complaining about skill-based matchmaking are the same people who tell you to just get good. I don't know why this guy's Scottish, but he is, I guess, a Highlands guy with hairy knees. But yeah, he's telling you just get good at Dark Souls. Hey, don't complain about having to fight the same bird in Dark Souls for 2 hours, hitting them with what feels like a wooden sword repeatedly over and over again, doing the same thing and then dying over and over. Because if you keep dying, that's how you get good. And then you have to die. And this is an inevitable part of it. But once you die, you get good. And then that's more rewarding. And then they're hiding over to Black Ops Cold War and going, I'm sick of dying. I'm sick of it. I'm not getting better. And you know what? Dark Souls sucks. And so does skill-based matchmaking, though. But, like, there has to be, you know, someone's got to point out this hypocrisy. If you are a get-gooder and you tell people to get good and then complain when there's a system that works against you getting good, I'm sorry, man. Just shut the fuck up. But have one or the other. Complain about skill-based matchmaking or enjoy Dark Souls. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, so that's how I feel about it. Overall, I'm not too fussed. At the moment, it's not stopping me from playing the game. Like I said, to me, it's more important that this game feels like Black Ops 1 when I play it. It's not as enjoyable as Black Ops 1, and maybe that has something to do with Sbmm. I don't know. But yeah, I am against it overall. Oh, yeah, one last thing. A lot of people have been saying that there should be a rank next to your name, but come on, man. The people are saying, look, I'm okay with skill-based matchmaking, but just put a rank next to my name with how good I am, like gold, platinum, bronze, and stuff like that. The whole point, the whole reason you're annoyed is because you can't get into games that are easier. It's not going to get rid of the system. It's just going to add a little logo to your name. And plus, and Treyarch and Activision know this, we all know what will happen if we have a little skill rank next to our name. Everyone knows what will happen because it's the same thing that used to happen with Halo 3. You'll see a bunch of platinums, a bunch of golds and platinums in one game. You'll see that you have some bronzes and you will back out. It's exactly it. Look, if these people had the mentality to say that this system is not working for me, I'm not playing the game anymore, of course they're going to back out of every game where the deck is stacked against them. That's just how it is. Anyway, yeah, I've rambled on for quite a while, so I'm sure nobody's going to watch this. But, yeah, I did want to talk about it. And I guess leave your thoughts if you want to. But I will see everyone later.